Hi, Skin Dog. I started surfing with my family, with my dad. Um, I was 3 years old, so I don't really remember kind of learning to surf. It was just something that
Just
I was,
water.
I was just always doing it, and I got addicted at a pretty young age. And from like 6 or 7, all I wanted to do was be a champion. That's what I wanted to do.
Oh, really?
So everything from then on was focused on that, and I just wanted to compete and make it my job. Oh, they've just supported me from day one. You know, I'm lucky I had a great family and a great upbringing, and they really believed in me, and put everything into me at a young age to surf. I obviously went to school, and I got pushed hard at school. I was in a private school and good education, and but I just wanted to surf. I didn't want to be at school at all, but I did, and I got my grades and did the exams and finished with 11 GCSEs, which in England is.
Yeah, I know that.
So once I finished school, I didn't want to go to further education. I just wanted to live my dream of becoming a professional athlete. Not everything. It was hard at the start, you know. I was about 18 when I got my first real contract where I could live off surfing, and I worked hard to get it. I worked really hard, and I won a lot of contests and put myself in the position for somebody to put money on me and say, okay, we believe in this kid. We think he can go all the way, and so the hard work was put in at a young age, and then it was about finding the right company that wanted to support me, and luckily I managed to find that. Yeah, I will say one thing about that right now, because I think China's growing very quickly in surfing, and you know, one thing I never had was support from my government or support from my country. Okay, so right now China is in a really great position as like a growing nation for surfing, and I believe that with the support of the government, they're going to help these kids to grow, and help you all to grow to the surfer that you need to be, and eventually the companies will come because you're going to have enough talent. And it's about talent and being nice, as I said before. And all the kids here that I meet in China, especially in Riyue Bay, Alex, little Mumu, they're just such lovely kids, you know. And I met Alex when he was Mumu's age, you know, and he's growing into this lovely kid. He's nice, he's polite, and that's, you know, maybe not all the time, but that's what's important. And he's growing into a great surfer and a great person. And a company will want to invest in that, not just a great surfer, you know. So I think they're doing the right things, and I believe that you've got a great support, whether you don't have a company or not. They will come. Because I believe Thunderbolt, especially in the longboards, is the best technology in the world right now, and that's why. So for me, making surfboards as a shaper, what I want is the best boards, and not just for my customers, but for me. I want to be the best in the world. So if I have an opportunity to work with the best technology, I do it straight away.
So is that Thunderbolt focused on the manufacture, the mass production of the?
Well, yes, Thunderbolt allows you to mass produce, but that's not why. The reason I am working with Thunderbolt is because of the feeling of the board.
Yeah.
And the flex pattern that they creates torsional flex. with the carbon T-band stringer that's in the board.
Yeah.
Instead of just a single stringer, the board can only flex like this.
Yeah.
With the T-band stringer, it allows a torsional flex as well as a normal flex. So the boards to me feel forgiving but responsive. Carbon fiber has an incredible flex pattern and memory.
Yeah.
So when it does twist and flex, it comes back,
Yeah.
and it creates energy and just feels incredible. You know, when your skill levels get higher,
Yeah.
you know, I feel like when I hit the lip on a Thunderbolt, I accelerate out. It's like bam, because the carbon twists, flex, bam, comes back at you, and everything feels alive. So for me, that's why I put my money, you know, because for me to do Thunderbolt, it's a big commitment. I had to borrow a lot of money. It's not something that just came like this.
Yeah.
So, but you know, I'm committed to it, and I love it.
Yeah.
But not only that, the boards have a great float.
Yeah.
They float really well in the water.
Yeah.
They catch waves really easily.
Yeah.
I think because of the construction and the materials used. So I think not only for professional surfers, but for beginners, you're going to catch more waves on that construction. I think to be honest, in shortboarding, an EPS board can be too light.
Can be too light.
Yeah. If you have a board that's too light, it doesn't have any momentum, and also with wind and many other factors in the sea like chop and sometimes an EPS board doesn't cut through the chop. It bounces.
Oh, right.
Because it's so light.
Yeah.
So if like a toe board for big wave surfing, it's so heavy, and the reason is so when it's going fast and it hits like a bounce, it doesn't go. It goes cut straight through the water. Yeah. So there's a lot to be said for having a board that's too light. Yeah. But in longboarding, like you want a light board. Yeah. And they're going to be heavier than a shortboard. So and the PU boards are generally quite heavy because there's so much board. Yeah. So I think it's the perfect kind of weight compromise. And obviously in Thunderbolt Technologies, we can like pinpoint weight. We can say, I can have a board at 3.2 kilos, which is super light, or I can have it at 5 kilos.
Yeah, you can just add more material.
Yeah, and so it's down to, you can actually control that.
Yeah.
In PU, you don't really have that option. Yeah, for sure. Because for me, even an EPS board that's the same weight as PU has more life. Yeah. It feels more responsive, and the construction generally, the epoxy resin even has different flex to the PU resin. Yeah. So the polyurethane.
It's kind of harder.
More brittle, but has a great response.
Yeah.
And that's the difference for me. Yeah, for sure, for sure. And you know what? I believe he will. I really do believe, and I believe in him so much. But if he wants to change his mind and he wants to do something different, then I'm going to support him too. Okay. So I just want him to be happy, you know. But he's happy surfing and he's happy skateboarding. So right now it's perfect. I actually am a lecturer for them.
Oh, really?
So I do the board building.
Yeah.
I teach them to build surfboards. So they have a marine science and a surf science course in the university. And there has many parts to the course, but one is board build. So they come to me, my factory, and we build a surfboard from start to finish, from design to construction to finish to graphic. And it's really fun. I love it.
Like which university is that?
It's Plymouth University, Plymouth and Falmouth University too. Yeah.
What kind of degree do you
Yeah, you get a degree.
Of
Yeah.
surfing,
Surf science
surf science.
or marine science.
Okay.
So marine science is slightly different and a bit more intense and a bit more involved in the marine biology side,
Yeah.
and the surf science is more directed at surfing. So yeah, it's quite cool.
Surfers.
Just keep going. Um, I'm impressed by all of you, and I hope one day, my son can surf with some of you, and just have that family relationship that surfing has. It's a huge community, and I don't think Chinese surfers have had the chance to travel very much, but I believe that's the way forward, to get out of China and come and see the other countries, and maybe that's something that you should look at doing, is taking the teams to other countries and experiencing their community, creating relationships, and growing the sport, So I wish you all the best, and I think you're going to be great.